So today I want to talk about 10 things I gave up or I quit. I don't like to say quit. 10 things I gave up for a life in Thailand. So the first thing I stopped myself doing was dreaming. I always used to dream about what I was going to do, where I was going to go. I'd always put on music and think about this perfect world and all this thing I was going to do, and you never do it, man. It's a fantasy world. I started doing instead of dreaming, and I think that helped me actually come to Thailand and start doing stuff again, because I was just stuck in that rut of dreaming. I think we all do when we're younger, right? We always, how can I say, I used to just dream of the perfect scenario. Oh, I'm gonna travel the world, I'm gonna go to Thailand, and I always dreamt of doing what other people had done instead of doing, if you just do it. So I stopped dreaming. I won't let myself dream anymore. Letting go of my former life, my youthful life, so to say. I was a DJ, I was a raver, a party animal. I partied all weekend and didn't do much during the week. Actually, I had jobs on and off, and that was my whole life right up until my early 40s, just partying. I didn't want to give it up, I didn't want to stop doing it, and I had to let it go, man. Not totally, I still love my music and stuff, but just that way of life, of just in that mindset of still when I was 19, I was still into the same stuff as when I was actually 14. I started raving 13 and 14, and when it got to, I've done vlogs on this before, when I got to my 40s, I sort of had to let it go to progress and to come to Thailand and live this life, because I didn't want to let it go. It was all I knew, it was all I'd done. I was a partier. I played rave music, that was my whole life. I've still got all my vinyl and stuff back home, and just the thought of giving that up scared me to death, and I had to give it up to come here and live long term. And I'm so glad I did, because my time was sort of gone. Of course, I'm still listening to the music, and I will go to reunions when I'm back home and stuff, but it was time to move on. This is what I wanted. Unhealthy habits. Again, when I was growing up, the party scene, there was a lot of goodies going around. the party drugs and stuff at the time, and of course I used to indulge in the things from the 90s, and it was a big part of my life. Was I full on? No, I was just a weekend party animal like most of us. I think smoking the weed took me over for most of my 20s, 30s. So I've said previously that I didn't like it anymore. The reason I don't like it is because I wasted so much of my life, I think, smoking. And I used to smoke 20 cigarettes a day as well, right up until I was 35. And I just wasted so much time in my room getting wrecked. I look back at them times not very happily. The brain cells I had left, I've saved, thankfully. At least I've got a few left. Because I killed a lot of brain cells during the 90s, and being straight is the biggest buzz ever. Experiencing life. Because when you're at home getting wrecked every day, you don't experience. I used to be shy away from people, no confidence or anything, but now I wish I knew back then what I do now, because just normal clean living is the best buzz in life. I understand we need a good time sometimes, alcohol, smoking a bit of the old doobie, doing a bit of whatever. I don't do that anymore, but of course, in life you do need a good time sometimes, and the stresses of life can make you want to do a few things sometimes. But I had to stop everything. When I stop something, I cut it right off. My friends, I had to give up my friends to live in Thailand. You never really lose your friends, they're always still there. This is probably one of the hardest things I had to do, just leave all my life behind, all the friends that I was hanging out with. And that was probably the hardest. They still message me now sometimes, what are you doing, what are you getting up to? But that's just a natural progression in life, I think, right? You get older, you all go your separate ways. Some of my friends have had kids since I've been gone and doing other things, and so I don't look at it so much as, you've lost your friends. They're always your friends, but you get older, you do your separate things. The things you've done in your 20s, early 30s, it's different once you get to 40, 50, right? People do the family thing, do the life thing. Of course, they're always my friends. We're going to see each other when I'm back home sometimes, but yeah, that's one thing I had to give up, right? My life was all about going out with my friends every week, and that suddenly stopped. I suddenly changed and stopped seeing my friends so much. You just change as a person and you have a new outlook on life. Relationships. I was in a relationship. I had a chance to be in some other relationships. I had to end my relationship and I had to distance myself from that back in England, because to be in a relationship you got to be 100% in it, right? You can't be dreaming of traveling, going to other places. Of course you can together. In one relationship we did talk about coming to Thailand, but it was in the distant future, and my aim was to come here right away really, and yeah, it didn't really work, so I had to cut my relationship short and sort of stay away from relationships. I've always been like a single. I've always liked being on my own. I think I've been on my own for too long now that I probably will never maybe have a family, I don't know. I'm too set in my ways and doing my own thing, like now in Thailand. It would take somebody special to put up with what I do, I think, and how I live my life. Once single guys, you will know, once you're set in your ways as a single person for a long time, it's probably hard for a partner to come into that space, right? It's hard. And I used to get a bit grumpy when I was with my partner back home because I wanted to do things my way and do it how I wanted. And I think the best way for that is just to be on your own until you meet somebody at least that shares the same life as you. Of course there's somebody out there for everybody that will fit into what you do, so maybe one day. But I had to give up my relationship to be in Thailand, which was the right thing to do. Being scared and worrying, I always used to think, what if this happens, what if that happens, I need this, I need that. It put me off going travelling for so many years, and I always used to go travelling with friends and I could never do it on my own. I was always thinking about what if. I've done a vlog on this before when one of my best friends left me for the first time in Chiang Rai, and from that day forward, that day gave me the confidence to do what I'm doing now. It gave me, in a way I should thank him, because that's what I needed. I needed to be left in the middle of nowhere. It wasn't nowhere, but Chiang Rai felt like nowhere to me at that time, from a guy that's travelled but not really much, always with friends and always as a group and not for too long. So yeah, that day in Chiang Rai I stayed there, and it built my character, built me as a person. And yeah, from that day forward I can do anything now. I'm from a small town in England, and we never really done stuff on our own. It was always with friends, always with people, and yeah, that was the best thing that ever happened to me, because I sort of learned to stand on my own 2 feet, travelling in a travelling way, in a way of living in a foreign country. And now it's just a piece of cake, man. It's a piece of cake. I'm sort of, you know, never think about it anywhere I go. It's like when I walk through the jungles with snakes and out, and people write comments, what about this? I don't even think. Sometimes it's best not to think. Sometimes you should plan ahead with things, but yeah, nothing. I think once you get to a certain age in life, you don't really care what sort of happens, or, you know, even on this trip now, I think I was thinking about what if I got a flat tire or something, and then I just thought, hey, who cares? You'll get out of it. You'll survive, man. You'll find somebody. You know, it's nothing really matters. There's always a way out of something. Spending. I wasn't rich, never have been, as you know, but I used to spend. I used to buy crap that I didn't need. Clothes, still got it at home now. Chuck loads of it out, still got a bit to chuck out. Just crap. You're blinded by new things and things you think you need, and that dopium of buying something. I've still got it now. I've said before, every now and then I'll buy something on Lazada, a little gadget or something. You don't really need it, but you buy it. 90% of it I've stopped, and that cleared my head. It decluttered my whole life, and I feel a lot better for it. How I live here is simple. My room's simple, everything's simple. I just live a simple life. I've got a little bag with me now travelling, just a few t-shirts, one rain jacket, one, you know, cold weather top. And before I could never do that. I've got a 70 litre backpack now back home, and that's what I used to take, and I used to think that was too small. So, you know, decluttering was a big part in me coming here, man, because my place back home was so full of crap. How can you plan about doing anything in life when you've got crap everywhere? I got rid of it all. It helped me plan to come and stay in northern Thailand for the long term. People pleasing. This falls into sort of doing things on your own without your friends, as I said before, but people pleasing. I always used to try and please people. I think you do when you're younger. You want to be in with the hip crowd. You want to be, you know, you want people to accept you and be with a cool girl, be with a cool guys. And yeah, you stop that once you get older, right? It doesn't become important anymore. And I couldn't give 2 turds about really who likes me anymore. I'm so confident now with anybody that, you know, if anybody walks past me in Thailand with their chest out, I couldn't give a toss, mate. I'm a polite guy, but now in the markets and stuff, I'll stand my ground. I know your natural feelings know when you're in the wrong, but I will not back down to people pleasing anymore. I think that becomes normal in life for all of us, right? And yeah, when I stopped doing that, I was happier in life as well. Living in the past. I always thought when I grew up that, you know, my time was going to last forever. The music that I liked, the things that was in the news at the time, in the charts, I always thought it was going to last forever. And when I got older, I got a bit angry that it didn't. And I got a bit angry that I was getting older and the young people didn't like what I liked. And yeah, that took me a while to realise that, you know, I wanted everybody to like what I liked, and the music and stuff. Everything was changing as life does, different generations and stuff. And now I embrace new styles. Of course, like new kids of today ain't gonna like what a 50-year-old man likes. And when I was about 35, maybe 40, I couldn't get my head around that. I just wanted it to be the same as how it's always been. I didn't want change in in the 80s and the 90s. I wanted everybody to love that, even with the music. That's a big reason why I stopped as well, because music changed, everything changed, and I didn't like it. I was an angry young man for a little while, and I just wanted the youth to like what I liked. And now it's got to move on. It has to move on. I didn't like what my dad liked. My dad didn't like what my granddad liked. Music moves on, everything moves on. Fashion, everything. And yeah, I embrace that now. It's not for me. I'm an old man, but things change and kids are into different things now and different things come in, and you just got to let that go. And I had to let that go. I suppose it's just coming to terms with you're getting older. I probably just want to touch on that. That's not on my list, but I had to come to terms with being an old man now. Being, like I said in a vlog a couple years ago, when the girl called me granddad or out in the club, and it really hurt me. It really hurt me, because I still thought I was a young man. What was I then, 40 or something? You know, a bit grey, not as grey as I am now, but yeah. And it hurts for a man when you're getting older. Even now, it's hard to deal with when you know you're sort of you're getting old. I class myself as nearly an old man now. You always want to stay young. I mean, look at the people that spend money on trying to stay young. I just think that's pathetic, you know. I would never go down that road, because you look 10 times worse. You gotta grow old naturally. You just gotta let it go. That's the way it was intended to be. And yeah, I would never go down the road of trying to rekindle my youth. So for all you guys that don't know, I'm in northern Thailand, a little town of Phayao. Beautiful town. Got the lake here, biggest freshwater lake in northern Thailand, and it's beautiful. We got a breeze coming off. Lovely. So the last one is just accepting myself for who I am, and not worrying about features, not worrying about what you look like or anything anymore. Just accepting yourself. You're never going to change it, are you? And that's, over the years, I've just learned to accept myself for who I am. And nobody's perfect, are we? We're not perfect. We all don't act perfect. We don't look perfect. We make lots of mistakes. I think with the vlogging world as well, you know, human beings make mistakes, man. In the vlogs, we make loads of mistakes. Maybe we say something one day and the next day we say something different. That's life, right? That's life in everyday life. Accepting yourself. I think you can only be nice to other people once you accept yourself, right? You can only be truly at peace when you've accepted yourself, because if you don't accept yourself, you're always going to be angry, right? You're always going to be looking at other people. And I used to look at other people, wish I looked like him, wish I, you know, I bet he looks cool and all this. And you know, again, it comes with age, right? It doesn't really matter when you get to a certain age, and nobody's better than you, right? Nobody's better than me. Vloggers, anything, nobody's better, man. Nobody's better in life. They've all got their own problems. It looks shiny sometimes, but underneath, everybody's got the same problems in life. That is probably the biggest one to come out of this list, is just be happy with yourself, mate. Sometimes it's difficult. I'm not here preaching, saying, oh, I've got it all sorted, mate. I've got it all sorted. No way, man. I still have thoughts. You know, nowhere near perfect. All these things on this list, no way are they nailed down 100%. Bits still creep out sometimes. Life's difficult, right? Life is not easy. But I'll probably go through my whole life with ups and downs. That's how it works, right? That's how it's intended. That's how you play the game. Absolutely beautiful day. Starting to get hot. Hope you're all safe and sound as always, guys. Thanks for tuning in as always, and I will see you in the next one. So take it easy, man. Take it easy.